Alright, here's a video hopefully that can help us find percents of numbers. And today we're working on estimating. So if I want to estimate what 38% of 150 is, estimating means I want to get close, but I want to round it to or estimate friendlier numbers that can help me. 38% makes me think that 38% is close to 40. So I'm going to try to find 40% of 150. That will be easier to estimate than 38% of 150. So I'm changing it to a simpler problem, 40% of 150. One of the things that I can use, one of the strategies I can use to do that is a double number line. On the top of my number line I have percents, and I'm using benchmark percents, jumps of 10, so 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I'm using those benchmark percents to help me. A minute ago, I didn't have these values listed on the bottom. I figured them out, and the way that I did that was I knew that I needed to find 40%, and my total was 150, so my number line stops at 150. I filled in 50% easily because 50% is 1/2, and I know that half of 150 is 75. So when I started, I knew 0, I knew 75, and I knew 150. There's also another value that I can know pretty easily because it's easy to find 10% of any number. 10% is easy to find, just move the decimal one place to the left. And so here's 4 examples. If I want to find 10% of 50, I move it one place to the left. 10% of 50 is 5. 10% of 32 is 3.2. 10% of 600 is 60. And 10% of 150 is 15. So to find 10%, I can move the decimal place one place to the left. So if I'm looking for 10% of 150, which is this value here, I just move that decimal place one spot, and that becomes 15. So 10% of 150 is 15. And if this jump from 0 to 10%, if that is 15, then that means from 10 to 20 would also be 15. And from 20 to 30 would be another 15 and another 15. So that's how you can see I found all the values for the bottom of my double number line. Each jump is 15 on the bottom, and each jump is 10% on the top. So if I want to find 40% of 150, I can go to 40%, and I can see that 40% of 150 is 60. That's one way I can use a double number line to help me solve this. The double number line also gives me all the other values. It tells me what 60% of 150 is. It tells me what 70%, and so on and so on. So it's a valuable tool to tell me lots of different percents. Another way that you could think about this is to get 40%, that would be 10% plus 10% plus 10% plus 10%. There's my 40. 10, 20, 30, 40. Well, if I already know that 10% of 150 is 15, because I moved the decimal place to the right, 1, if I know that 10% of 150 is 15, and I have 40%, 10, 20, 30, 40, that means this 10% has 15, this one has 15, this one has 15, and this one has 15. That's my 40% broken down into 10% pieces. Here's my 60 broken down into 15, 15, 15, and 15 that go with each of those 10%. So even if I didn't have a double number line to do this strategy, I could think of 10% of 150 is 15, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 10%, and 15 times 4, or 15 plus 15 plus 15 is 60. Another way to find that. 10% is easy to find.